There's just something about music that stirs the soul, makes us crank it, let go and come alive. This is what makes life, life, right? Yet what if too much of a good thing today could make us miss out on life tomorrow? 1 in 5 American teenagers now has some type of hearing loss. Loud noise is the most common cause. And these days, we're plugged in louder and longer than ever. Let's hear for life. Turn the volume down.
Sergeant, he's our director of our recycling center and our Keep Walton Beautiful program.
It's kind of a long title to be the director of Keep Walton Beautiful and the Walton County Recycling Center, but they are basically two separate entities under the same building. Our Keep Walton Beautiful program is all the education, events, cleanups side of things. We have a volunteer board that meets once a month. With the Keep Walton Beautiful program, a lot of what I do is following state guidelines with the certain amount of cleanups we're supposed to do every year, a certain amount of education I'm supposed to do. Our target grade is 3rd grade. The state has determined that's the right age to start kids learning about recycling and environmental things, good stewardship and stuff like that. And that's a lot of what we focus on. But we are doing a lot of stuff with at the high school level. We work with environmental clubs. I work with the FFA at some schools. I've worked with a few different science clubs at several different places. We've done, we're starting composting programs at a couple of different schools that are interested in starting composting programs at their schools. We did pollinator gardens we're working on one at Walnut Grove High School now, or we started it last year. It was tarped off. After everything dies off this year, we should be able to plant everything in the spring. So the education is a big part of that. We do several cleanups throughout the year. We attend festivals, parades, events. We do a document destruction event for those of you in the Loganville area. April 2nd, we're doing a document destruction event where you can bring any sensitive documents maybe your parents or family may have. Old things with driver's license or social security numbers can be brought and shredded and taken care of in the proper way. But that's a big part of what we do, and though closely related, the recycling center is kind of a separate thing. It's completely government funded. And it's nice because we go out and do the education and then we can tie that right into the recycling center. There we process all of the recyclables we collect. We have 6 convenience sites throughout the county. Some of you may have seen them at some of the old fire stations. There's places out there that you can do some of the more recyclable items there, like the plastics, cardboard, those type things can be recycled at those convenience sites. At the main facility, we recycle there's more there to recycle at the recycling center. We do things there like cooking oil, marine and car batteries. We also have a trash pad there where you can bring any of the items that won't fit in your garbage cans at home. You can bring to our facility. Is $2.25 per 100 pounds. So we have a lot of people that do so much recycling that the cost of throwing away things there at our facility is much cheaper than hiring a private company to come in and pick up your trash. There at the center, we're a pretty small department. I have an administrative assistant. We have recycling technicians that they catch all of the cardboard that comes in. They come from those convenience sites. We also have 62 cardboard containers throughout the county. We run an office paper recycling route, and I don't know what schools you're all from, but every school in the county is a part of our recycling program as far as I know. I'm pretty sure there's none of the schools that are missing. So if you're unaware of that, there's a recycling contact at your school. They're keeping the office paper. We have someone that comes by and picks that up every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on which school it is or where you're at. If you're not aware of that, ask about it and get involved with that in your school if that's something that interests you. One of the things I would say is I feel like the job I have is an important job, and it's going to be much more important in the future. If environmental things, recycling, litter are things you're interested in, I do feel like a field in recycling is going to be a great place to be going forward. With the new technology, recycling is ever changing. And I feel like I'm in a position to stay on top of the changes that are happening in recycling. We're getting into the organics recycling, which is something new. Composting is going to be a really big thing going forward. And if those things interest you, I really feel like recycling is a really good avenue for those of you to take. Again, if you have any environmental questions or questions about recycling, whether it's new things you could be recycling, if you're not recycling, I can help you get started recycling. Does everybody out here recycle at least at home? And most of you have like a private company that comes and picks up your recycling, right? You have a garbage can and you have a recycling bin. Well, just know that some of the things that goes in your bin at home, there's a lot more that can be brought to us that won't be accepted there. Things like glass bottles. Pretty much any of you that have a private hauler, John might kill me for mentioning glass bottles, because John, when I mention my employees, I'll have to back up. I didn't mention how closely we work with Public Works and the sanitation department. We have 4 sanitation department employees on site at our recycling center, and they do all of the hauling of the trash collected there and all of the recycling that we ship out. His truck drivers haul all of that for us, and when all of the private companies stop taking glass, whether you know it or not, glass in newspaper is where recycling started. Once upon a time, when I was really young, I can remember you could turn in glass and get money for the bottles you turned in. Well, the private companies around here all sent out a letter saying, we're no longer taking glass, put your glass in the trash. Well, I was a little bit upset they didn't contact us to ask if there was a better way of handling that. We've always recycled glass. And as far as I know, we will always continue to recycle glass. But it was much less busy when citizens were allowed to recycle their glass with their private companies. Once they weren't allowed to do that anymore, I spent a lot of time making sure everyone knew that you don't have to throw your glass away. Please bring it to us. Well, within about a year's time of me going out and really trying to make everybody know, please, to not throw their glass away, we've about tripled the amount of glass we were getting in, and we was not really prepared for it. But what I will say is that last year we kept 189 tons of glass out of the landfill. We didn't make a huge amount of money on it. We pretty much break even just trying to get the glass. We have to take it all the way to College Park. I believe that's correct. To be recycled. But we did keep it out of the landfill. And I'm sure a lot of you all know that glass is one of those items that will not decompose. Any ideas how long it takes glass to decompose? Have you ever wondered if we just threw it down and buried it in the dirt, how long do you think it would take for it to go away? They say 1 million years. So if you think about 189 tons of glass in the dirt that's never going to go away, we need to make sure we're recycling it. I'll also tell you this real quick. I can't help but get on my soapbox when it comes to recycling, but just so you know, in our part of the state, there's less landfill space than anywhere else in the state. Still in the state of Georgia, almost half of the things thrown away every day are things that are perfectly recyclable. They're still going to the landfill. Those landfills are filling up. What happens when the landfills fill up? They shut them down. They still have to be monitored for years and years and years after they're full. And I just said there's less landfill space in our part of the state than anywhere else. So what that means is the next landfill, no county wants a landfill in their county. So what happens is we're going to go somewhere where there's more landfill space that's much farther away. And what do you think happens when we have to start hauling our trash 3 times as far as we do now? And who do you think's most likely going to pick up that tab? It's going to be you or your parents in the future. So I'll get off my soapbox, but I'm pretty proud of what we do. And if environmental recycling stuff is something that interests you, you know, we do have, presently we don't have an opening there, but in the past we have had a couple of, they may have been just out of high school actually going to college, but doing some work with us, but we do have a temporary, like an office assistant that helps us, and they help plan events, they show up at events, we do all sorts of things. So I think it's a great field to be in, and I think it's a field that people are going to be really looked to in the future to help solve some problems that we're having. So I'd be happy to answer some questions. In fact, I'm not going to sit down until somebody asks at least one. So. Well, a lot of the volunteers we use, they can just be part of the cleanup. Whether it be, you know, we have a Rivers Alive event, and we've had softball teams be a part of that. We've had just individuals that wanted to do it. We've had Beta Club that has, different clubs that would come out to do cleanups with us. We've also had students that would come out to like a paint collection event we'd have, and they would just help us take paint off trailers. And you know, it's a good resume builder for college too, to show volunteer work like that. So we have a lot of people that call us that want to be a part of any kind of events or cleanups that we have. You can find, you know, you can go to our website inside the county website there. There's a departments list, and you can give us a call anytime. You can check for any upcoming events. I know you're in school, but we do have a monthly meetings the first Wednesday every month at noon, and we would love to have any of you that could ever make it. But call us anytime for any volunteer opportunities. We'd be happy to tell you about that. There was one more question.
What do you do with the stuff, like the recycled stuff you get? What do you do with that?
Well, we have well, it depends on what it is. Most of our stuff gets baled, like our plastics, and we don't recycle all plastics. We recycle number 1 and number 2 plastics. You know what that is? Number 1 and number 2. If you look on the bottom of every plastic container, you have the little triangular recycling symbol. There'll be a number inside of it. That's going to cover most of your drink bottles, milk jugs, laundry detergent bottles, all of that. That's what we recycle. We simply don't have the space to take all of the plastic that we could be taking, and there's also no market for the more rigid plastics. So not only will we not really get paid much of anything for it, a lot of that stuff, they even charge you to come pick it up. So we do have to kind of, you know, it has to make a little bit of financial sense for us to deal with some of it. And plus, we're a pretty small facility. It was built in '93, I believe that's correct. And I'm not sure it was ever constructed to deal with the amount of stuff we deal with now. Right now, we're getting in about, you know, we get in about 18 to 20 tons of cardboard a week. And if you can get any kind of idea of how much cardboard that is, I would guess all of it would probably take up about the whole space of this right here, and of the whole courtroom here, from top to bottom all the way back. That's about how much we get brought into the facility every week. We get just about enough plastic that we have to sort through, make sure that it's just number 1 and number 2 plastic. Once that happens and we fill up our bins, we have a huge horizontal baler that we run. They make bales. Bales of cardboard are about a ton each. And then we would call in a truck to come pick up our cardboard or plastic when it's ready to ship out. And we normally put about 21 tons on the back of the truck. Right now, the cardboard prices are really good. They're about $200 a ton right now. So you figure, you know, if you've got 21 tons at $200 a ton and you're getting about that much a week, that's pretty good. So that's what we do with it all. We process it and ship it out.
This is
That's the most I've seen you run.
Jody. Giving everybody. Jody's going in timeout after y'all's session. We're not going to let him do the next one.
That Jody, not
This Jody. We have 2 Jodys. This is Jody Johnson, our Parks and Rec Director. So I will let him tell you what his department does and the careers available in his department.
She's already told us we have to be really brief. We're running out of time. Thank you for taking most of our time today. I believe you did.
No, you're fine with me.
Hey, in Parks and Rec, we do a lot of things, and one thing I do want to say, this is a career fair, right? Correct?
Yes.
We're talking about jobs and what you want to do, and you want to look for a job. What does that say? And they say, you find something you love, you won't work a day in your life, right? Well, let me know when you find it. Working is fun. It can be. In Parks and Rec, we have a saying that game wardens don't get to hunt. So if you like to hunt, you might not want to be a game warden. If you like to play, doesn't mean you come to Parks and Rec. You know, we do play. We get to see a lot of people play. We get to program a lot of things. We get to take care of a lot of parks. But it doesn't mean we are out there playing in all of our sports. But you do have to have a passion for what you do in anything, and that's what you need to have to be in the Parks and Recreation field, is a passion for either sports or a program, whether it be therapeutics, where you're working with kids that need more help, taking care of parks where people are coming and enjoying, whether it's a community center with community rooms and where we have all of our activities, or if it's an athletic field, a baseball or a football field, you have to have a passion to take care of those facilities. So when people come and use them, sometimes we think they abuse them because we're taking care of a lot of things that people do destroy when masses of people come into them. But nonetheless, you have to have a passion to be able to want to make those things look as safe as possible when you come to the parks. And in Walton County, we are growing pretty rapidly, which means that there's 2 things that happen when your county is growing as fast as Walton County. One is that we have more people that want to come to the parks, and then secondary, we have less land that can become parks. And the other thing, it becomes more expensive to have those parks. So we're looking for folks that will come in and donate. Some of these larger builders will come in sometimes and donate some of their property that may not be the perfect setting for what they're trying to do, so they donate it to us, and then we try to make it into a park that people will use. And that's what we are doing here in the Parks and Recreation Department. So we are growing in that capacity. Fortunately, we've got a board, which is these guys back here, that pass policies for us, and they've had a pro approach to Parks and Recreation, which means they think that having parkland and programs is important to the community, which it is. So that's what we do. And we talked about jobs with HR. With the Parks and Rec Department, we rely on every one of these guys that are talking today. We're constantly calling 911, which sends the EMS. We're working with Carl with anything that he needs as far as the COVID protocols and all those things. John's constantly working in our parks to help us build those parks cheaper so we can have more. Fortunately, we don't recycle as much as we should. We apologize for that. And we do send you a lot of trash. We do bring you a lot of trash. HR is constantly giving us employees, and the code office is helping us stay and get some of the green space. So Parks and Rec, we work with all of these programs, and we have a good relationship. But as far as jobs go, we do have a lot of folks that Parks and Rec is their first job. It may not be what their career is, but it does teach some of the things that you need, whether it's working in our splash park. We have several openings right now that's being advertised. If you're interested in a part-time job that would get you, out of the house and making $14 to $15 an hour, being a splash park attendant, being a grass cutter that's a seasonal employee. Folks want to come out and do that. Part-time athletic aides that come out and turn the lights on for folks to answer questions. Umpires, officials. We have a lot of folks that are younger that are coming out and being soccer officials. If you have a particular sport that you're passionate about, come out and learn that. That is a great way to make a lot more money. That's exactly how I started as a sports official, because you'll make somewhere between $20 to $25 an hour if you learn how to be a sports official. And it's a good thing. It's a great part-time job to have. So I would encourage you to do that. If you're going off to school, it's something you can take with you. And every town that you go to that has a college will, whether you're doing it at the intramural program or you're doing it with your local Parks and Rec, it's a great job to have, and it's a lot of people's first job. So I will say that. I'm going to turn it over to questions because I know other folks have things to say as well.
And I'm still coming up, and I talk a lot.
And I noticed that, so that's all. Any questions for us? Yes.
Do you have any volunteer positions related to baseball or anything like
Well, we have the most volunteers of anybody in the county. We have most of them are parents, and adults, but we look for youth to come in and volunteer. I didn't mention scorekeepers that come out and scorekeeper jobs. If you don't really want to feel good being an official, being yelled at by some of those parents, then you may want to be a scorekeeper. Those jobs do pay, but yeah, we have for every season we have somewhere around 500 to 600 volunteers. We don't survive without volunteers coming in and coaching our programs. So yeah, we do have a lot of volunteers. They look for assistance. So if there's something you want to do, come in and help one of these parents that may not have the energy that you have, passion. So we absolutely will find you a spot to volunteer if you want to come out and do it.
In Zoom, Ms. Charlotte Parker, she's our Director for Planning and Development.
Yes, and I have to hurry too, right? Well, we have a lot of jobs in planning and development. Planning and development kind of explains itself. Everything that is built, developed, or whatever in the unincorporated part of the county, it comes through our office. It may need to be rezoned if it's something that's commercial. I know y'all probably seen the big zoning signs, we do that. We put the signs out. We process the applications, get them to the board. I attend 3 meetings a month now in this building. The Board of Appeals grants variances if you don't have enough room on your property, like just say you have floodplain on your property and you need to scoot your house over a little bit, you need a variance on a side setback, which is a requirement of how far your house has to be from the property line. We have a board that can grant variances. We have the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission recommends approval or denial on rezones and conditional uses. And then, of course, the Board of Commissioners has the final decision on these zoning cases. But for jobs in our office, I'm the director. I have an assistant director that helps me with everything that I do. We have a building official. We have 3 building inspectors, and they go out from, when you're putting your footing or your slab of the house all the way until it's completed and you're ready to move in. We have 2 development inspectors, and the development inspectors, we call them our dirt guys. They, are there when a development starts. They have a pre-construction hearing. We work with Roads and Bridges or the Public Works Department and make sure that we get our roads built so that they last, hopefully, and they're not having to, repair them and all, during the development of a subdivision or a business park. They also, we try to keep mud off the road, make sure that people have their, we call them BMPs, that's best management practices, where you put silt fence, the little orange or black fence that you see around a development site. We have to make sure that is in place so that they're not getting dirt in our creeks and our drinking water. We do code enforcement in our office. We have 2 code enforcement officers that if your neighbor sees you doing something that they don't like, they'll call our code enforcement. A lot of times we get back and forth. This neighbor complains on this one and they'll complain back, and we don't particularly like that situation, but it happens. And we always try to get compliance. If you're doing something wrong that is a compliance violation, we give you the opportunity to correct it. If you don't, then we do end up in the court system, and we with the issuance of a citation. Building permits. We also sell the building permits. We do plan review. We got 2 plan reviewers that review all the developments of subdivisions and commercial development from the ground up. And then the dirt guys are the ones that go out in the field and look at this while they're doing the development. I have 3 permit technicians at the front counter. They are wide open all the time, selling all the building permits for houses, accessory buildings. Anything that you build in the county, you need to get a permit for. I know I'm missing something. Business license. We issue business license for companies that are out in the unincorporated part of the county, as well as if you have a home occupation. A lot of people now are trying to work from home, so we issue all of those licenses. We issue beer and wine license for stores, restaurants, and so there's 17 people in the department. And Jody kind of took my phrase is that if you love what you do, you never work. Well, I really do work, but I do love what I do. And it's very important, y'all, to find a job that you really enjoy, because it's a pleasure coming to work. And if you are fortunate, as I am, to have a group of people that work for you that are family, then you know that you're very blessed. So I do love my job. I do love my job. And I will answer any questions. I know I went through that really fast, but my sister told me to. And I always listen to her.
She's the only one.
But, we do a lot. I would love for any of y'all to come by. We can show you maps. We had a group from the junior leadership Walton that came by that we spoke to, and we had plans laying on the table that were like gymnasiums for the schools, and they were really interested in seeing that. That was pretty cool. But, I would be glad to talk to any of you if you were interested in something like that. We deal a lot with attorneys. The young lady said she wanted to be an attorney. I have to call the county attorney a lot, because everything that we do is ordinance related, regulations. I've got to make sure that I'm staying between the lines. And any questions? No. Awesome. But it's a great place to work.
I thought that's what you said you were going to
No,
Good morning. My name's John Allman. I am the Public Works Director for Walton County. And it's a pleasure to come today and talk to y'all about our career opportunities with Public Works. You see, Carl didn't mention this, but our department is also, we're a first responder department. You didn't mention that. I think I But when they get on scene and it's something bad, they look at each other and they say, call Public Works. When will she about for me? So when it's bad, we're on scene. We have to respond to a lot of different emergency situations. I'm gonna go through this quick for Patrice. This is the basic functions of Public Works. We have to provide a safe means of transportation for the public to move goods and services, and a lot of those services are public service. So that's what we do. We maintain the stormwater system, we manage flood control, like Kenny was saying, we have sanitation department, we work close with them. One thing that a lot of the department heads, if you notice, we're talking about how we can call anybody. Wendra, I can call Jody, Carl, all our departments work so close together. And it makes my job easy when I know I can rely on these people. So, this is what we're here for, and I might just stop right here. This is our careers. Our department is very diverse, so it's broke down into divisions. Unlike a lot of departments, they specify in one thing. We're broke down into divisions, so we have administration, we have vehicle maintenance and heavy equipment mechanics. We have equipment operators. A lot of our folks are equipment operators, truck drivers, and a lot of these things, I know most of y'all are females in here today. We would love to get more diverse. When you go to a job site now, you see a lot of female truck drivers, operators, working on construction sites, and there's nothing that we have at Public Works that none of y'all wouldn't fit right in. So, project management, fleet management, and inspecting our infrastructure. So there's something for everybody in Public Works and Public Works departments. Once you're a Public Works official, no two Public Works departments are the same, because no two counties are the same, no two cities are the same. Some of them may have airports, some of them may have cemeteries they maintain, golf courses, water and wastewater. So once you get in the Public Works career, there's you can go anywhere and do anything. So we have about 70 full-time positions right now. We employ about 84, 78 total employees, 60 full-time. This is our budget. Last year our budget was right at $8 million, about 15% of the total Walton County budget. You can flip through pretty quick. Sure. This is what we did last year. This is what we accomplished. You can see the numbers. That's a lot of work for 70 people. Storm management, stormwater management. Water is a field that's just going to get bigger and bigger. Stormwater, wastewater, water treatment. This is one of the projects. You see the picture on the left. This is what we found. We worked with our engineers and designed the plan. This was when we were working on the project, and that was the finished project when we got through. So our guys are very good at what they do. They turn out some beautiful work. We're proud of them. This is some more stormwater projects. Kenny mentioned our recycling sites. This is a list of where the sites are located around the county. And we maintain these. We staff the people that work there. So just anytime you want to come to our place, we'd be glad to give you a little tour. We're located down here next to the Sheriff's Department. Come in our administration building. We'll show you our site. It's a big site. We'll show you what we do. And hopefully, I'll see some of y'all sitting across in an interview with one of our positions. Do y'all have any questions? Anybody have any questions for Public Works? Yes, ma'am.
Is what you do with some of your workers is kind of like landscaping?
When they get through with it, it looks like landscaping. Yeah, they do a good work. We maintain all the right of ways in the county. We mow the right of ways, and we work on the cars. Our vehicle maintenance shop, they maintain 300 plus vehicles in the county. Our heavy equipment shop. They maintain over 100 pieces of heavy equipment. So if you go to a technical school and you get a vehicle maintenance degree or a diesel mechanic, you know, those jobs are good in Walton County in our public works department. So we'd be glad to have you. Anybody else have any questions? Well, thank y'all.
County 911. As Shauna said, yeah, we will. This is Elisa Massey. She is our training supervisor at the 911 center. We work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We never get to close. Our jobs are exciting and exhilarating. You never know what phone call you're going to get. You may answer one phone call and it be somebody because their cat's stuck in a tree, which is really not a lot we can do about that. But we still take the phone calls. And the next call may be somebody having a heart attack. So you go from way down here to way up here, like really quickly. We never get bored. We don't have time. At night, overnight shift is, they have a little bit of downtime sometimes. It just depends in the summertime when all the kids are out of school, we don't have downtime. But we handle all the calls that come in for service for the county. For public safety, they call us for things that we really don't do anything with, but we refer to other places. If you call with an emergency for police, fire, or EMS, you're gonna get me or one of my operators. We make sure that we get the call. We ask a lot of questions. Carl said he's nosy. Well, we are way more nosy than that because we have to know what's going on so that when we send our people out, we can tell them what they're getting into before they get there. If somebody's fighting, we need to know if they're physically fighting, if they're arguing. We need to know if anybody's been drinking, if anybody's using drugs, if anybody has any weapons. That's all for the safety of our people that we're sending to help, as well as for the safety of the people there, so that when our officers respond, we know. We ask a lot of questions when EMS is coming out so that Jody's folks can be prepared when they get there. They need to know if you're having difficulty breathing, so they know they need to bring oxygen in if they need to. They need to know if somebody's not breathing, and we're giving CPR instructions over the phone. This is a little bit a show of our consoles. I'll let Elisa tell you what's in these pictures, but we have 10 console positions in our 911 center, and each console is set up the same way, but it's very liquid. You can make it work for you however you want to. Go ahead, Elisa.
So two of the screens that you're going to see up here, they stay the same. So the screen right here to the left, in blue, that's our phone console. Every phone number for anything that you need in the county, Jody's number, Carl's number, Public Works, Animal Control, Human Resources. You're going to find all that in there. We've got all of our other agencies, our surrounding counties, Rockdale, Morgan, Oconee, Gwinnett, DOT. This is our phone system. So when you call in, this is what we use. We have one button transfers if you call on the 911 line, which we do get a lot of calls from, like Barrow County. You're in Barrow County? Let me transfer you. Hold on 1 second. We use actually all these screens. So in a couple other pictures later, you'll see my console where it's set up. But we'll use like our CAT system. We'll log in these first two. Up here are important notes like Mayday. We have a Mayday step-by-step when someone from the fire department or EMS calls out for an emergency. We've got our fire stations and where they're listed, sometimes the fire stations and their phone numbers to the station, so we just have it on hand, we can dial it.
Let me one thing. When she said CAD, that's our computer-aided dispatch system. That is the computer system that we use anytime someone calls a call in. We create a call in the system, and then everybody in the room can see that system because it goes to all the computers so that whoever's dispatching the appropriate personnel gets the call, but we all can see them. Go ahead.
So over here to the right of the masses, that is our radio system. All right, so on our first page, that is our main page. That's over here, we have the sheriff's office. The second one is Loganville and Social Circle. They share radio. They're small departments, smaller departments. Not a lot of people that talk on the radio, so we're able to combine them. Right here is Monroe. Right? Yeah, Monroe. And then we've got fire and EMS down here. We've got fire TAC channels, which we can talk to them separately than on a main channel and holding up the main channel. Let's see the next one. All right, so this is a close-up of the phone, and then just like our notes that we were talking about. So let me go to my console. That's where I'm sitting at today. All right, so this is my console. I've got a lot of apps open. So I've got my Mayday, that is, right here. I've got Wendra's office number, the director, assistant director's office number, and stuff like that. My fire station's over here. I got language line, and we have somebody that calls in and doesn't speak English, or doesn't feel comfortable speaking English. We're able to call language line, and they actually help us translate once we figure out what language they speak. If we don't know the language that they speak, there's actually a button that we can push, and they actually help us try to figure out the language so that we can get them help or whatever service it is that they need.
Awesome. Show them where the console's raised. And since we're sitting at a console, we work 12-hour shifts. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., and then we have a split shift in the middle that's 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Our consoles raise up, so you can stand if you want to, you can sit if you want to. They adjust any way you can imagine. They go forward, they go backward. We always have job openings because it's a really hard job. You get in there, you either like it or you don't. Apparently I loved it because I've been there for 33 years and wouldn't do anything else. I love my job. I have a lot of great people. We work as a family and we interact with every department in the county. Our starting position starts at $17.09 an hour. And as I said, we work 12-hour shifts. You handle everything that you can imagine and things that you can't even imagine. To this day, I still get calls and I'm like, what in the world do we do with this? Well, you take your experience and you figure it out. Or you call the fire department is what they always tell me, we call the fire department. So somebody will figure it out and get you some help. If anybody wants to see a tour of the 911 center, you can just give us a call. We'll set it up for you. We'd be glad for y'all to come in and see what we do. It's an exciting field. Anybody that stays in it usually loves it because if they don't, they're out in less than a year or two because it's very stressful. Do y'all have any quick questions for us? Because your bus is here. No? Okay. Well, thank y'all all so much for coming. We appreciate it and we enjoyed being with y'all. Thanks.
Hello, this is Jody Johnson. I'm here with another recreation report, and we are nearing our opening day, which is going to be the 26th of March. It's coming up really soon, and luckily it looks like we're going to have good weather for our opening day games that are be played out at West Walton and at Criswell Park. We'll also have our soccer opening day the same day out at Felker Park. This year we've expanded our soccer program where we're playing games out at our West Walton Park and out down in South Walton. So we're expanding that, and that's to get prepared for when we, and we have actually started the preparations for our newest park in Walton County, which is going to be out at Walnut Grove. We've met with our designers with Lowson Associates, and we prepared a plan over the next 6 months or so to where we'll start with some meetings with the community, and then we'll gather all the information that we want to be within this 266-acre park, which will be the largest in Walton County, that has a lot of natural things within it. We're hoping that there's several components, and all that will be figured out in the future. I don't want to go in and pre-sale what will be in there. All that will be determined by the citizens and the budget, obviously, what we'll have in that park. One of the main components that is probably the biggest need is additional baseball or softball fields in the west end of the county. As you know, a lot of our participants come from the Loganville west end of the Alcovey River. There's a lot of kids that are in that area, so we're in desperate need to expand it, especially in the smaller age groups. Our 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old programs are busting through. We had to actually turn folks away or move them to alternate parks this year because we just did not have enough space. We have over 16 teams on a couple fields in the Loganville area, which normally are maxed out as 12. So you can tell we've tried to expand, but we're at the point where we need to add additional fields. So that will probably be one of the components within that park, and then hopefully a lot of other things that will really get you excited for. And as those come about, certainly we'll let you know. on this program, on our Facebook page, on our website. So all that information will be on there. As quickly as we know it, we'll pass that along so we can be as transparent as possible. If there's something you would like to see in Walton County as far as parks or a feature in a park, send me an email. Our email's on the website, and it'd be great to hear from you guys. We have a lot of other programs that are going on, not just our spring sports now that are starting. And again, I say this each time, but as our spring sports start, where do we focus now once these things start is into our summer programs. We have a few athletic programs that are start this summer, which one is our summer basketball, and then the other is our girls volleyball program, which was a tremendous hit last year. So we're looking to really capitalize on that again this year. We hope to have the summer volleyball, and if that goes well, we'll continue it with another program in the fall, which is traditionally the time of year that girls volleyball is played. So we're looking to expand on the girls volleyball as well. So the registration for our summer basketball, ages 7 through 18, and summer volleyball, 7 through 18 girls, the registration for that will be April 18th through April 23rd. So April 18th through April 23rd. Again, that's not a long period, so make sure you get in and register. We shorten our registration periods to kind of let people know when it's going to be, and then we hold it, and then afterwards we start filling in those spots that we have available to make our teams full. We'll also be advertising for tackle football. We've kind of changed our method of which we're going to run our tackle football and cheerleading program this year. So we're extending registration. This registration will be one of our longest. It'll be a 4 to 5 week registration period. So it will also start on April 18th, but it will be extended through May for the tackle football and cheerleading. It's just one of the requirements for the league that we're going to be participating in, which is the North Georgia Youth Football Association, which is teams throughout North Georgia, all of the high schools participate in, and we've applied and have received membership to be a part of the North Georgia Youth Football Association. So we'll be playing at at all the high schools, which are renovating their facilities. The athletic departments at the schools are getting involved with us and partnering with us to run these football and cheerleading programs. We think that is a positive, and not necessarily a true feeder program, but with them participating in, we think those coaches will be able to coach our coaches and how they want their players to be brought up. And it not only promotes the safety within tackle football and the cheerleading program, but also some of the continuity that takes place from the time they're 6 to the time they're 12 and they enter the middle school program and then into the high school program. So we look forward to giving this a try with the North Georgia Youth Football Association and working with each of the high schools in our community, and we hope this is going to be a great thing and make our football program even better than it has been over the last 20 years. So look for registration for our basketball, volleyball, football, and cheerleading. And then we'll focus on our fall programs, which is our baseball, softball, and soccer, and cross country. So those registrations will also be coming up after the other registrations, right towards the end of the school year. So look forward to that. Now we'll make sure that you get a flyer through the email systems. If you're interested, look on our websites. We make sure that everybody understands what's going on. But I wanted to just touch base some of the things that are going on with our sports programs. We also look forward to opening up Ayers Park, which is our splash pad, which was also a huge success last year. 15,000 people came through the doors to attend the splash pad, and we're going to open up May 10th as the date. Obviously weather will play a part in that, but we believe that it'll be warming up, and we'll open up in the afternoons and Saturdays and Sundays. I think May 10th is a Saturday, so we'll open it up that day, and then we'll open it up through the nighttime from like 3 to 6, 4 to 6 in the evenings until school is out, and then we'll be opening from 10 until 6. There's a lot of private rentals that are being done now, so if you're interested in having a birthday party or a reunion or something out at the Splash Park, please give us a call or an email, and we'll get you on the calendar for that, because they are going fast. We do that from 6 o'clock, after the 6 o'clock, so from 6:30 till dark, we'll have the private rentals for the Splash Park. That was very popular last year. A lot of birthday parties, they utilize the pavilions, and then they can kind of have the Splash Park to themselves Another program that we've got going on is our fishing derby, which will be Saturday, May 14th at Meridian Park. So that'll be from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. So Saturday, May 14th is the fishing derby out at Meridian Park. We stock that pond every year with about 2,000 catfish. We try to keep people out of there, and we feed them, get them grown a little bit, and then there's a lot of catfish caught. So, and last year the biggest one was a bass that was big, was extremely big. So it was probably feeding on a lot of those little catfish that we've been putting in there for years. So we had like a 7 or 8 pound bass that was brought out of there last year. So there are some big fish in our ponds. A lot of people catch and release anyway. So we do have a lot of catfish and a lot of bass, brim in the Meridian Park. We eventually will be expanding this fishing derby to the South Walton area once we complete the park there. So I will switch to that. We have a lot of parks that are starting to come online. One being a expansion of Ayers Park. We've now got pickleball. We've got 4 pickleball courts that are extremely nice. They're right adjacent between the parking lot and the splash pad. So there's 4 pickleball courts, and what I've seen there, they've been used very well by the community in that area, and people have actually been driving towards them. They're very nice pickleball courts. If you're interested in that, we have the rules to pickleball if it's not on our website now, it will be, and then we have them posted out at the pickleball courts. It's similar to tennis in a way. It's kind of tennis and ping pong and badminton all kind of mixed together. It's played on the size of a badminton court, and you play it kind of like ping pong. So there's very similar rules to all those things. But it's a very fun sport. You don't have to move around a whole lot. A lot of seniors very much enjoy playing it. But myself enjoyed it as well. I went out opening day and played, and to be honest, I thought I was in better shape than I was. I was extremely sore the next day from playing and only played 4 or 5 games, but didn't realize that those little small movements do add up. So be wary of that. There is some exercise involved in playing pickleball. So I encourage everyone to get out and be active and enjoy the weather. I know we're in pollen season, but it's a great time to be outside when the weather's not too extremely hot. So get out and enjoy that. The walking track is open out there. The Frisbee golf course is open out at Ayers Park. The dog park obviously is open, and then the splash park will be open in May 10th. So a lot of things that are unique to Walton County we have out there at Ayers Park. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Again, the fishing derby's coming up. It's another outdoor sport on May 14th. And then our South Walton Community Center, it has been delayed a few times, but we are looking at a May 1st date to open the newest community center with all of the exercise equipment, the walking track and the offices, the gymnasium, a couple of community rooms. So we have a lot of, it's a very pretty, very unique looking piece of land and facility. So it's going to be something very nice to add to all of our park systems here in Walton County. So a lot going on, and we look to the future with our new Walnut Grove Park coming up, and I certainly will be broadcasting that out as we learn what's going to be in it. So come out and enjoy what we have to offer here in Walton County. Go to our website, go to our Facebook page at Walton County Parks and Recreation. There's a lot of information we try to share on that. So as always, remember, sportsmanship starts at home, and we look forward to seeing you at a park. Thank you.
Always feel free to come in and pick up our class list. Of course, everything is online. You can always jump on. Again, it's Monroe Walton Arts, and under our classes and events, you'll see the classes that we have for kids, the classes we have for adults, the special events that we have going on. Some of the new events that you may or may not know about is we have a book club that's meeting here now on the, the last Tuesday of every month. So lots of different things going on here, some new additions. The old time music open jam is just so much fun. We have probably 15 different musicians. They sit in a circle and they just play and have a great time. So we invite you to either come and listen or come and play. They're here on the 4th Saturday of every month from 1 to 4 p.m. So would love to see you. It's just such a positive, great, fun time. Come in. Also, you can pick up this little reminder of what shows are coming up and special events. We do have the flower garden show kind of home tour that's going to come up in May. That's coming up faster than I even like to think about right now. But we are gearing up for that. We're going to have between 6 and 8 homes, we hope. We're still lining up our homes, but at least 6 homes will be on the tour, and we'll be rolling out information about how to get your tickets and how many homes are on the tour, and all of that very, very, very soon, probably by the 1st of April at the latest. So be looking out for that information. We're also pulling together our summer camps. We'll be making announcements about our summer camps around the 1st of April as well. Those are always sellouts, so if you have kids or grandkids that love art, we have week-long sessions of either general arts, kind of mixed media, all kinds of things, and then 1 week of pottery camp as well. This dedicated only to pottery. So we will be rolling out that information in April as well. So be looking out for that. Be looking out for the garden tour. Come and see our student shows. They are just so much fun. Kind of a new thing that we have that y'all are the first ones to actually see this. We just got our adult art MD. We're calling it an art and distraction journal. It's got 39 pages of original artwork, activities, things that you can color, even some games and some word searches, some instructions, some journaling pages, and then just some blank pages at the end. But it's a nice, thick book. This will go out for free to the hospital, to all kinds of local places that need it because of grants that we get, and we appreciate those so much. We're also going to hopefully fund these by selling these. I'm not sure exactly what the price will be, but probably around $12 for the book. And again, this will go to support the work that we do here at the Art Center. It's fabulous, and many, many thanks. Everything in here is original to one of our artists. Sandy Blanchard created all the pages in this book for us, and it's a lot of fun. And if you're stuck somewhere, either in the hospital or a waiting room or anywhere where you just want something creative and fun to do to take your mind off of stress or trouble, or just to do for fun, come by and take a look at this. I think you'll really love it. And if you have a place that could benefit from having these on hand, please let us know. We do want to distribute these for free to other organizations in the county, medical facilities and places like that. So get in touch with us. We'd love to talk to you about how we can best serve the community by getting these art and distraction journals out into the community. Of course, this is for adults. We already have our kit that we use for kids, and that's been tremendously popular. We've probably given out around 2,500 of those, of the Art MD kits for children. So come see us. We have the gallery shows going on, tons of classes, 60 plus classes every single month. The shop is open with over 60 local artists. You're directly supporting local arts when you come in and shop in our gift shop. So we hope to see you soon. Y'all have a great day.